And we live. Welcome to Pack It Up Thursday, March 21st. Welcome. Welcome. I'm the host, your host of this workshop. And today we're going to talk about building a global network. We're going to talk about what that even means. We're going to talk about why it's important. And then we're going to talk about how you can build your network abroad. So, first, let's just start out with defining what a global network is. Because you may not know exactly what it even means to have a network or what networking is. But a global network is basically a group of people from around the world who know who you are, they know what you do, and they support you on your journey. And now I know you may or may not be good at talking to strangers. Many people are not. It feels really weird. It feels strange to talk to someone that you don't know. It feels good to go. It feels weird to go up to a stranger and even ask them what their name is, ask them how their day is going. You may feel like you're bothering them. You may feel like you yourself, you look stupid going up to somebody that you don't know. Your heart may be beating fast when you even think about the idea of going up to a stranger. But I want to tell you that going up to a stranger can change your entire life. Sending a message to someone that you don't know for the first time could completely change your entire life. And I know that because it happened for me. So I live by this quote that says, "You're always one connection away from your dream. You're always one connection away from your dream, no matter what your dream is, no matter if your dream is to go to space, if your dream is to go to the moon, if your dream is just to build a company, your dream to move a bar, whatever your dream is, you're one connection away from that dream." And this idea and this quote came from a book that I read a couple years ago called Who Not How. It's called Who Not How, and it talks about how to solve problems by thinking about who can help you versus how do I actually do this. And it's based on this idea that every single human being is unique. Every single human being has their own type of gifts, and the gifts that they have can be used to help others. And there are people out there who are gifted in the things that you are not gifted in, right? And so it's really a way of working smarter, not harder, thinking about, okay, who's someone who can help me accomplish this versus me trying to figure out completely on my own. And I'll just tell you my personal story of how networking helped me to move abroad to Paris, where I am now in France. And I had this dream of living in Paris since I was 20 years old, and I traveled to Paris for the first time. I fell in love with it, and I came back home a couple years later. I was in school at the time, and I had this dream of moving abroad. And so what I did was I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn who were living in Paris, and I would just send them a message. I would say, "Hey, my name is Christian Brown. I'm a college student, and it's my dream to move to Paris. I want to move to Paris. You're in Paris. Can you help me?" Right? And I was just sending this message. I sent maybe 50 to 75 different messages to people in Paris asking for help. And guess what? Nobody responded. Nobody helped. Nobody helped. And that's a part of the process, right? You may not always get an answer, but it's just the action that you take that is able to sow seeds. Because really, what you're doing when you're sending out messages and when you're taking steps to build your network is you're planting seeds. You're letting people know that you exist. And one day, those seeds that you plant, they may sprout to help you. And then that was exactly what happened in my story because one of the messages that I sent as a 21-year-old college student 2 years later, I sent out a message to that same person asking for the same thing. Maybe a couple hours later, they responded. They finally responded. It felt like a dream. I remember getting the notification, and I was like, "No way! There's no way! There's no way this person responded." But they did, and that person helped me to move abroad. We built the relationship. We ended up meeting in person. When I arrived in Paris, we hugged, we embraced, and it was a beautiful thing. And it made me realize, like, wow, you are always one connection away from your dream. And there are people out in the world that want to help you, right? They want to be of value to others, and you should be the same. You know, this circle wheel of value and exchange that happens when people network. And networking is not just this tool that you use; it's actually a lifestyle, right? Networking is a lifestyle. When you go through your life and you have the mindset of hey, how can I be of value, or how can I help someone today? You know, how can I smile at someone and brighten up their day? How can I give someone some advice, give someone some good news, just spread some good energy? That is all a part of networking, right? Because as humans, we're already energetically aligned just as human beings. But when we take it a step further, and when we make that person feel known by saying hello, or by smiling, or by asking a question, you are connecting even deeper, right? And it's like a web, a web of a net, and it's connecting when you take action to connect with someone. Yesterday, here at a co-working space in Paris, there was a guy that was sitting close to me, and it was around the end of the day, and the happy hour was getting ready to happen. And I can tell that he wanted to say something to me, but he didn't. And I just looked at him because I wanted to see if he would, right? And he ended up complimenting my laptop cover. And I was like, yeah, I got it from Amazon. It's really basic. It was like $10, nothing special. It's just a black plastic laptop case. And I asked him, I said, hey, are you going to the happy hour? And he was like, I kind of want to, but I'm not much of a networker. And I told him, man, let's go. Let's just walk over there and let's just start talking. And so that's what we did. And sometimes people just need that boost to know, like, hey, it's okay to not be a social person. You can still network. It's okay to be an introvert. You can still network. A lot of times you just need a little push to go and show up, to walk over to where everybody is sitting, is standing and talking, or to take the effort to sign up for an event and actually attend. And I know that showing up is half of the equation of networking. First, you have to show up, then you have to interact. But without showing up, you can't even interact. So showing up is the most important aspect of networking. And I want to encourage you to have an optimistic mindset when it comes to networking, because your perspective is everything. Many people are scared of talking to strangers or networking, reaching out to even people that they know, because they fear rejection. They're scared of the person not responding, or the person responding negatively. And they feel that just not even going and talking to them is safer and is better than the rejection that may come as a result of them taking the effort to reach out. But I want to challenge that mindset by saying that no matter what happens as a result of you taking action, it's positive. Because you taking action, you having the courage to do something that is uncomfortable, is a win for you. And so no matter what that other person has going on, you are improving and you're being stretched by taking a leap of faith and a leap of bravery to go out and talk to someone new. And it's all a perspective shift, right? And that's really networking is all about perspective. The one connection away slogan and quote is all about perspective. It gives you a reason to continue to walk down the path that you're going down, reminding yourself, like, hey, no matter what my dream is, I'm always one connection away. So how can I connect with someone new today? What can I say to someone that is beneficial? What could I say to someone that could possibly make them see me and make them want to help me or want to support me in some type of way, right? And you have to be super intentional in order to manifest these connections. You have to have that mindset. You have to take the steps. Hold on, let me get some light here. Take the steps. And so one of the secrets that I want to talk to you about is social media. Social media is a networking tool. I think it's good to think about numbers. I think mentioning numbers just makes it very, very clear to people. So let me mention these numbers. So in the US, there are little over 300 people. Let me give you the exact 331.9 million people. That was a couple years ago. But around 300 million people are in the USA, right? And let's see how many people use Facebook. So as of 2024, monthly, 3, 3 billion people use Facebook every month. So 330 million people in the USA and 3 billion people use Facebook. Let's see about LinkedIn. How many people use LinkedIn? About 1 billion people use LinkedIn. You see, that's a big difference in people, right? And so that means you have more of an opportunity to meet people. To meet a larger amount of people on social media than you do in person, than you do in whatever country you're in. And that's why social media is a tool for networking. It's a tool for connection because you can reach billions of people on social media. So then the question becomes, okay, I know that I can reach these people on social media, but how do I reach out and what do I say? And how you reach out and what you say depends on what your needs are. What are you trying to accomplish? And I'll be specific because I'm trying to reach a specific audience here. I'm trying to reach people that have a desire to leave their home country and move abroad because they want to experience personal growth. They want to stretch their mind, expand their mindset. They want to have access to international opportunities, or they just want to explore. So those are the type of people that I'm talking to right now. And so if you're one of those people, you're in the right place, and this is what you should do. You should use whatever social media you are most active on, and you should search for the people that live in the countries that you want to move to. And if you're not sure what country you want to move to, that's fine because you have to research. And with Packing Up University, we have created a resource tool to help you discover your dream city. So if you go to packitup.org/discover, then you'll see some of our comprehensive city guides. We have about 5 countries. I think we have about 5 countries right now, the most popular countries for expats. But if you want information about a different country, on one of the pages at the very bottom, there's a section for you to type in what country you want information on, and in about a week or two, we'll have that for you, and it'll give you just further information on whatever country it is. But if you already have your country, what you want to do is you want to go on social media and you want to um, either search the hashtag the city name, or hashtag the country name, and then just start going through people, looking at people, seeing what they are, what they do, what their vibe is. And once you match with someone that you feel compatible with, and you'll know, right? It's just like online dating. Once you see a picture, once you see a profile, you're like, okay, this person likes the same thing that I like, or hey, they look pretty cool. Let me just click on them. It's pretty much the same, right? Your vibe will you can see a person's vibe online. And so if you see a person who matches your vibe, you want to click on their profile and you just want to send them a message. Be genuine, be straightforward. Hey, my name is whatever. I have a desire, I have a dream of moving to this country because this, I know you live there. Is there any information that you can give me to help me with my process of moving abroad? That's it. Very simple. And then what you want to do is you want to take that same message and you want to send it 50 to 100 more times to 50 to 100 more people, right? And through that process, you're planting those seeds. You're dropping seeds. And if there are multiple countries that you want to possibly move to, do the same thing. Hashtag the city or country name, and then just start sifting through people, right? And it's this, and what I'm describing here is that process of who, not how. You're not really thinking about, okay, what are the specifics? How exactly can I move abroad? You're thinking, who can help me move abroad, right? Because unless you're ready, unless you're committed to moving abroad, and you already know you want the specific steps. If you're there, then there are resources for you, like the Global Visionary Blueprint, to take you step by step on how to move abroad. But if that's just too much for you, it's too far ahead, you're not even there yet, you're still just playing with the idea, then you just want to meet with people. You want to talk with people. And the cool thing about doing it online is that you don't have to see them face to face, right? And it's like the fear that we have online when it comes to online connecting, it's such a huge limiting belief, because when you're connecting with someone online, it's not like they can do something to you physically, right? They can't push you, they can't hit you, they can't, do anything physical. It's all virtual, right? And if you find yourself having the same type of fear virtually that you would in person, then that means you need to do some soul searching. You need to ask yourself, okay, what is the real reason that I'm not, or that I'm scared of reaching out to this person online, right? Because it probably is not the fear of being hurt, being abused, because it's virtual. You can still be abused virtually, but you get what I'm saying, right? It requires some soul searching to network. I think you have to understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and what value you can bring. And you have to be very, very clear on your value, and also be clear on what the other person wants. And one example of this is mentorship. I found that mentorship is a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship means both parties benefit. So the first mentor that I ever had, Mike Russell, shout out to Mike Russell. I had the desire to learn from a successful entrepreneur. And when I met him, I learned that he was a successful entrepreneur. So I said, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. Can you mentor me? He said, yes. Started meeting, going to his office, and I went prepared. I think that's another point here when it comes to networking. You want to be prepared. If you're going into a networking event, have a checklist of who you want to meet, have a checklist of what roles you need to fulfill, and have a checklist of the type of personality and characteristics that you want to have, right? Super important. Preparation. Success is when preparation and opportunity meet. So you want to be prepared for when the opportunity comes. But back to the story. So whenever we would meet, I would have a list of things that I wanted to talk to him about. And I would just ask him. It was just a question. I would just ask each question every time, and he would talk about it, give me the answer based on his opinion. And I used to think, okay, you're doing this for me, you're giving me all this good information, but what am I doing for you? And I asked him one day, like, why is this helpful for you? And he told me that having a conversation with someone who's an up and coming entrepreneur, it motivated him. It gave him a reminder of why he became an entrepreneur in the first place. It made him think deeper about his journey and realize how far he has come. Because when you're going down your own journey day by day, you're just thinking about what your goals are, where you want to go next. It's not many times that you look behind you, right? They say like you should always look forward, not really behind you. That's why in the car, the windshield is so big, but the rearview mirror is like this big, right? Because you should be looking forward. But sometimes it's good to take a step back and realize how far you've come, so you can express that gratitude in the moment. That's one of the cool things about the relationship between a mentor and a mentee. like a mentor, a mentee, they get more clarity and more vision on where they should go. And a mentor, they're able to get that gratitude, express that gratitude. Express that gratitude for where they've been, where they've come from. And so it's good. And it's the same thing with um, meeting people online. You want to think about what value you can provide sometimes, right? Even if you can't provide any value, that's okay. I want to give you secrets, one of my secrets on how to build your global network. So if you're a traveler, which you probably are if you're watching this, if you're a traveler, one secret that will help you build your global network, whenever you have a trip planned, about 2 weeks in advance or more, at least 2 weeks in advance, go on social media, LinkedIn, preferably, if you have LinkedIn. If not, build up your LinkedIn account until you feel comfortable doing this. But whatever social media you use, go on that. What you want to do is search for people who are doing business, who are living in the country that you're visiting, and send them a message. Say, hey, make sure there it's relevant, right? Make sure that there's some value in it, in terms of either they're in the same industry that you're in, or the same industry you want to be in, or they're doing something cool that you want to do as well. Right. So make it relevant to you, but find people who are in that country and say, hey, I'm visiting your city in 2 weeks. Do you have availability to meet for coffee? Do you have availability to meet with me for tea? I just want to learn your story. I just want to talk to you. I just want to meet you. That's it. It's not weird. It's honest. But what that does is it gives you an opportunity to make your online connections real. And it gives you an opportunity to build a more meaningful, a more connected network. And there was a really cool story for me one time when I was going to Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, and a couple weeks before, I was reaching out to all these different people who lived in Cairo, and there was one guy who I reached out to who was the CEO of a mental health company. And I told him, "Hey, I'm building a mental health startup. You're way ahead of me, but look, I just want to meet you. I just want to meet you, bro. I just want to shake your hand. I want to hear your story, learn about how you got to where you are. I'm going to be in your city. Like, let's just meet for 30 minutes for coffee." And I did that. He responded, and we met in person. And it created this really, really cool moment, I think, in both of our lives, right? Because here I am, an American, 20 years in my 20s, with my best friend, going to Cairo, Egypt, and meeting with this, the CEO, almost twice my age. And I'm able to talk about what I'm doing, and he's able to give information based on his journey. And for him, you have these young American guys coming to Cairo, Egypt, looking to learn, looking to connect, looking to network, right? It created such a special moment. And that's really what I think this whole journey is about. This whole journey of moving abroad, building a global network, it's about creating special moments. I love the quote that says, people don't remember what you did for them, they remember how you made them feel." And when you're able to create special moments all around the world, it really is meaningful. It adds so much meaning and so much purpose to your life. And again, life is not a problem to solve. Life is an adventure to live. And so if you can live your life with that belief that, hey, I'm on an adventure here. How can I do something adventurous today? How can I do something that might fear me a little bit today? Right? And just step into that. fully step into that and remember to have that perspective shift of, hey, just even me taking these steps is a sign of growth. I'm growing by doing this. I'm talking to myself right now. I'm growing by doing this live. This is a moment of growth for me. No matter what happens, no matter if nobody watches it, no matter if Pack It Up University has no students, so she already has some, but no matter if Pack It Up University, all the students leave, it's like there's still growth happening by me taking a step forward and by the students taking a step forward, right? And that's the beauty of education, is that education is a form of growth. And with Pack It Up University, it's not really formal education. This is more self-education. And I love the quote that Jim Rohn, he said, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. And when I hear that, I don't just think about monetary gain. I don't think about just getting a lot of money. I think about a fortune of experiences. I think about wealth in the form of experiences, right? And so it's like formal education, yeah, it's cool. You get to go to college campus, you'll get to meet people, meet lifelong friends, meet professors. That's cool. But self-education it will give you a fortune of experiences. It could take you to meet with the CEO in Egypt. It can take you to move abroad, right? It can take you to do things that you never didn't even know were possible. But that's the beauty of it. It's like that the adventurous part of life, embracing that is beautiful. And on our website on backingup.org, we have a quote. I don't know what page it's on, but one of our pages, and it says, "Adventure awaits for those willing to create it." And that's super true. If you're willing to create an adventure for your life, you will find it. Seeking, you shall find. Beautiful. The last thing as we end up here, again, if you're watching, send in questions, send in live questions, or you're watching a replay, send in questions. And as soon as this is over, I'll go in and respond to questions in real time. I'll do that. Awesome. And then we want to look at, lastly, another networking tip is to show up to the happy hour. This is one of the modules in the Global Visionary Blueprint course. Show up to the happy hour. Show up to the happy hour. And so if you're working at a job right now, or even if you have your own company, there are always happy hours going on. Always after works somewhere, always post work meetups, networking events. They exist everywhere. So what I want to encourage you to do is show up. Because remember what I said earlier, the equation for networking: show up, interact, right? Show up plus interact. And so if I can just get you to just show up, the interactions will come. Even if you're just standing by yourself, somebody will come up to you, or you will see somebody standing by themselves and you can just go and talk to them. But show up, because you never know what can happen if you show up to these events. And again, even if nothing happens, even if you leave after 10 minutes, you showing up is a step towards growth. It's a way to stretch yourself, stretch your mind. So next time you have a happy hour event, I want to encourage you to just show up. And on your way there, think about how you want to show up at this event. Think about if you want to go in smiling. Think about what you want to say to people, what kind of questions you want to ask. Be prepared, but also just be yourself. Because who you are as yourself is perfect, it's beautiful, it's unique, and it's valuable, right? And so I know sometimes you just need a little boost to be able to show up to these things and to do the stuff. But that's what I'm here for, and that's what PackedUp.org is here for, to help you with building up the skill sets, building up the mindset to be able to move and thrive abroad. right? Because I think it starts by just being comfortable in your skin, being comfortable in your own environment. And it's okay because some people are there where they're still learning to be comfortable in their own environment. And some people are way down the line to where they're moving abroad, shaking abroad. They feel good abroad already. And it's cool no matter where you are on that scale, it's fine. But there's room for growth no matter where you are too. So that's it. We got a 30-minute mark. The light cut off for the third time. I'm gonna take that as a sign. But this is Pack It Up Thursdays. Every Thursday we'll come in, and this is just the third episode of this Pack It Up Thursday. Just number 3, just the third. So we'll be coming back next Thursday to talk about making a plan and working a plan. How do you make a plan to move abroad? How do you make a plan to develop the type of personality that it takes to move and thrive abroad? And then what does that personality even look like? So we'll talk about those things next week. Again, if you're watching this, the replay, ask questions in the comments on YouTube, and somebody will respond to you. But go to packitup.org and sign up for our free student membership. We'll send you emails, send you reminders for the live. You'll get access to all of our city guides, and you'll be able to request a city yourself. And this is just the beginning. I'm super excited to continue to grow with the university and to build with the university. And I'm just grateful. So that's all for this Thursday. See you next week. Peace and love.